Alright, mic is on, I think. Yeah, should be. Give me a moment. Alright, that checks out. I hope. Microphone on, yes. Yes, it is. Alright. We are back. And this time around, I feel more wide awake. Unlike yesterday, I tried streaming. That was a bad time, really. My eyelids were drooping. Hey, Ratchet, what's up? Well, video game Christmas is finally over. Shit ton of games was revealed, announced. It's kind of hard to know. It's kind of difficult to start. Where to start. I probably won't even bother picking out what I said yesterday because I already forgot. Well, that being said, I can just start from scratch. Yesterday, yeah, as you know, we had our annual summer Nintendo Direct. And let me just say, it was... I give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't bad, but hey, they did show some games that, yeah, one that we weren't expecting, Kingdom Hearts 4. But yeah, not a bad show. Could have been better. And I think it should be noted that, and I'm sure some folks have already picked up on it. You know, when you take a step back and think about the recent directs we've been having, including yesterday's, most of the Nintendo Directs, in terms of third parties, have mostly just been ports. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, depending on the games, but if it was a game that was originally on the Switch 1 and then you have a Switch 2 port upgrade, it's like those people should have just played those games on the PS4, PS5 to begin with. Because clearly we all know the Switch 1 isn't as powerful as the PS4. But yeah, again, in terms of third parties, too many ports, which it's kind of like it's old news. But hey, sure, if you're a longtime Nintendo fan that didn't buy any other consoles that besides Nintendo, sure, that's a good thing because it's your first time playing Stellar Blade. Yeah, Stellar Blade coming to Switch 2. Not too surprising because I think Shift Up kind of like hinted on that, or kind of confirmed that months ago. They said that now they wanted to self-publish their own games, get out of Sony's hands. They were like, yeah, we want to self-publish our games, and we're gonna start thinking about Xbox Switch games, Switch ports. And here we are. Stellar Blade is coming to Switch 2. Would it come to Xbox? That's up to them, but I don't think it's out of the question. But yeah, the Nintendo Directs have been kind of like mid, especially if there's another partner showcase. Expect a lot of port announcements and not a lot of new titles, which is a problem. Nintendo, at this point, they should be commissioning third parties to make exclusive games for the Switch 2. So that way, at least the partner showcase wouldn't sound too boring. let alone any general directs in the future. And yes, I'm also going to include even Nintendo's own first-party titles. Like, it's great that the entire Xenoblade trilogy is coming to Switch too, but once again, it's still just ports. It's like if you already own those games on Switch 1, you're just basically upgrading for Switch 2 for better performance, and that's it. Like, if you finish those games, what's the point of upgrading? If you're gonna upgrade your Xenoblade copies to Switch 2, you might as well start a new game. Because if you already finished, what's the point, really? Which is why I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 1 edition. On my Switch 2, which doesn't show any slowdowns, but it's still running at 30, but, you know, I'll still take that. I don't want to start over. You know how big Tears of the Kingdom is? I would rather play Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition. But I won't, since that's old news, old game. Surprisingly, nothing from Sakurai. Like, call me a, what's the word? Delusional? Yeah, call me a delusional person, but I was kind of expecting a Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch 2 port at least. That would have been great. But I also thought that at least there should have been like some kind of update regarding Kirby Air Riders, and yeah, Sakurai didn't have anything this time, or at least for now. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts, the entire game coming to Switch 2. Yeah, basically Square Enix saw the writings on the wall after they saw how Capcom did how they handled that. Remember when Resident Evil had cloud editions, and then later Switch 2 was a thing, and they were like, yeah, let's re-release Resident Evil games on Switch 2. Yeah, Square had to do the exact same stunt. They wasted money publishing a cloud edition, and now they're spending another God knows how many millions just to bring it to Switch 2. But on the plus side, it's not cloud edition, so... And the other bright side, Kingdom Hearts 4 showed up. Yeah, not on State of Play, not even on the Summer Game Fest, and surely never not gonna be shown at the Xbox Showcase. But yeah, Nintendo of all places, a nice surprise for sure. And yeah, they even had gameplay, so I guess Tetsuya Nomura had been busy behind the scenes. And speaking of behind the scenes, yeah, same goes for From Software. Their game, what was it? The Dusk Bloods. They didn't show a lot, but they did announce, yeah, a closed network test that's scheduled to be out in summer, right? Yeah, this year summer. If everything goes well, though, after their test, if they're still gonna push out the game to come out this year, well, then I guess Switch 2 owners will be in luck. And speaking of which, I should have said this earlier. It's crazy to think that there's a lot of games coming out in the fall season. A lot of October and September releases. And I'll tell you why it's crazy. Remember what game is coming that's also coming out in the fall season? Yeah, Rockstar's game presents Grand Theft Auto 6. So it's I'm calling it now. I think everybody will say it too, of course. All the gaming companies, including first parties, they want to release their games before GTA comes out. I mean, I would say that as a joke, because obviously, realistically, they obviously had a release date before announcing it to the public. But it would be funny, maybe behind the scenes, everybody was probably, folks like Capcom, Square Enix, and such were like, okay, look, we can't release our game after Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out because January, February release will still screw us over. So everybody, we gotta release our game before GTA 6. Any objections? No? Even if it means crunching our asses? Yeah, we gotta do it. Anyways, what else was there at the Direct? Anything else I missed? Whatever. I'm not going in any particular order on what happened over the weekend. Xbox Showcase. I'll say Microsoft is pulling all the good strings, like pulling a good thick of cheese string. But yeah, that being said, yeah, Microsoft making Xbox exclusive games, good. And I don't give a shit about what people are saying, like, oh, but console wars, oh, it's bad for consumers. Now, yes, I am fully aware console exclusives is, you know, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to console exclusive games. I get it. We've all been there. But I think what most people are missing out, missing the point of Xbox console exclusives, is that they give consumers a reason to buy the console. Sure, let's talk about the negatives, why console exclusives are bad, and you know, people these days, you know, why they're calling it a bad call. So yeah, like I said, console exclusives being how do I say it? Like, it's that excuse like, oh, I don't want to buy a console just to play 1 or 2 games. Like, you know, think about it. Back in the day, the only way you could ever play Halo 1 and 2 was to buy the original Xbox. So it's not hard to imagine being that one person that says, I don't want to buy the Xbox just to play Halo 1 and 2. Yeah, no thank you. I mean, ugh. Well, that's the same excuse as, like, I'm not going to play the entire Devil May Cry trilogy on PS2. Just to play it on PS2. That's 3 games, sure, for one franchise, blah, blah, blah. Now, sure, it sucks that, you know, if that's, like, your excuse on the fence of of console exclusives. And yeah, I can't vouch for those people as a person myself who has always bought all 3 consoles since those past generations. Yeah, again, it's hard for me to vouch, but I can understand the complaints. You spend $300 back then just to play Halo 1 and 2. To an Xbox fan, that's not a loss. To a general gamer, they will say, no, I don't want that. I want a game that comes to all consoles, like Call of Duty. But see, here's the thing. I guess that's the only negative thing I can only say about exclusives. I'll probably think of more later. But let's talk about the positives. So, obviously, it's a no-brainer that console exclusives gives people a reason to buy the console, to play not just 1 or 2 games. There's a whole bunch. Back then, hey, we had it good. Especially if you were a Nintendo fan. You had a lot of exclusive games on the GameCube. And, of course, the PS2, the juggernaut of that generation. Yeah, if you were a PS2 fanboy, or hell, if you own a PS2, you were sitting on a gold mine. And think about it, because of that gold mine, that's how Sony managed to generate so much money. So many people bought a PS2 to play whatever games was exclusively on the PS2. And it worked. Exclusivities is what helps consoles sell and make money. And that was something that the Xbox Series X was missing out on. There was just not that many exclusive games. Very few, yes, but then it's like, you know, what's the point of having an Xbox when suddenly now Halo and Gears of War 1 remake is on, you know, PlayStation. Like, why even bother? And yeah, and guess what? Guess what happens when you decide to make your first-party titles become no longer exclusives? People don't buy the Xbox anymore. They have no reason to. They could just now play it on their PCs, their Switches, the PlayStation. Ori and the Blind Forest coming to Switch. Yeah, I'd say at first, I will say at first that sounded like a good idea, but then no, not really. It was a bad idea because yeah, it's like, why play Ori and the Blind Forest on Xbox when now it's on Switch and it's portable? So yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, how do you fix that problem? Go back to how it was back then in the early 2000s. Make it console exclusives. Yes, it's gonna suck, but for the sake of Microsoft not killing off the Xbox brand, they have to. They have to go back to the basics. Make games only for the Xbox console. And you know, dare I say, make Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox. I mean, practically, remember, Microsoft spent how many billions of dollars on Activision? Now, yes, it's gonna suck, but if you want Xbox to become a big juggernaut of a company, then yes, you gotta make a lot of exclusives. Yes, I know, and yeah, that right there, of course, does sound very anti-consumerism. But here's the thing. Here's another thing. What makes exclusives great? At least to my understanding. So this is just assumptions here. When it comes to multi-platform games, like let's go back to the days with the Xbox 360 and PS3. Yeah, the dark days when Sony's PS3 was really not doing well. And you know why? I heard from many stories, like many excuses from developers, saying like Valve, for example. Valve actually said when they were making the Orange Box, which is a compilation of Valve games, they had a hard time trying to optimize the PS3 port because of the Blu-ray. Yeah, remember the PS3 was the only console to have Blu-ray. Xbox 360 does have that. That does have that, but it was like a peripheral that you had to get sold separately. So which meant that was an optional thing. But on PS3, it's built in. So that being said, you can imagine to many other devs, they were probably struggling on making the porting their games on PS3 because of Blu-ray this, Blu-ray that. And then Xbox, you know, they didn't need to deal with that. They just had to increase resolution, and that's it. HD game, that's it. Xbox 360, good. PS3, bad. And yeah, of course, the Wii was... Well, the Wii was its own kind of juggernaut. And yeah, so multi-platform games, in the eyes of the developers, you can imagine how much busy work that is. Because clear, you can't say when a game company makes a multi-platform game, oh, it's simple coding. It's literally the same game. No, or same game, different console. Sure, but technically speaking, it isn't. The ones and zeros, the codings, the programming, the SKU numbers, and yeah, you know the fact that a lot of games are coming to Switch too. You can't say coding or porting is that simple. Like I said, I'm just throwing assumptions here. But now try to picture this. When a game developer is being told that their next game is going to be exclusive to one console. Oh shit. I didn't see the time. If a game developer is told that, their next game is going to be a console exclusive, then it might be less of a hassle. That means they don't need to think about, printing Xbox, Switch copies. Like if they're making an exclusive, like Shift Up, like they made a Stellar Blade for, at the time, PS5 exclusive. At the time, when it was exclusive, they didn't have to think about making Switch 2 copies or Xbox copies. It was just PS5 copies, so less cost on shipping, printing, manufacturing. And yeah, they don't need to go tell their programmers, hey, optimize this game for the Xbox, optimize it for Switch 2. Or better example, Square Enix. Look at Square Enix, what they're doing. They're now finally porting Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox and Switch 2. But just now imagine what kind of hassle that might have been for them. Especially Switch 2. Like, whatever voodoo magic they did to make it run well on Switch 2, it must have been a headache for them. But they managed to pull through. So, I mean, that's like one sort of good thing about exclusives on the developer side. But another case of what makes exclusives good is that if you want to give people a reason to buy an Xbox just for that one game, hey, think about it. That one game was probably made with love. Back then, think about it. We had it good in the early 2000s with so many console exclusive games. Because back then, the three big heads, they had to give people a reason to justify the purchase of a GameCube, a PS2, or the original Xbox. Now, say what you will about Mario Sunshine, but hey, that gave people a reason to buy a GameCube. Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, a bunch of Sonic games that got ported onto the GameCube. Hell, I didn't buy it. I didn't even ask for it. My uncle, I told you this story. My uncle got me the original Xbox. Surprise, surprise. And yeah, I took advantage of that situation to play Halo. And then I learned that Doom 3, back before I could even get a good PC gaming hardware, I could play Doom 3 on the original Xbox. And that was a good thing. It was, at the time, exclusive. Oh, and did you know the original Half-Life 2, the entirety of the game, also came to the Xbox console and was exclusive back then? I mean, it was also, yeah, at first it was on PC. But in terms of consoles, yeah. More reasons to love the Xbox. And then, of course, yeah, as I already glazed and showered the PS2, yeah, my PS2 library was big. Well, not as big as the GameCube, though, but close. So many Capcom games. Oh, yeah, it was the best. And back then when Sony used to care about their exclusives. Killzone, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, God of War, Resistance was PS3. But yeah, you name it. So yeah, all in all, they really need to go back to these. The Xbox is and Nintendo. No, Nintendo was already doing that game. They were already making exclusives. But yeah, now Xbox is following. I just wish that Halo Campaign Evolved could just not come to PlayStation. Should have just been Xbox exclusive. But one thing for certain is that should I ever pick up the game, I'd rather play it on Xbox. And speaking of Halo, let's see. So, what was shown at the thingamajig at the Xbox showcase? So we did get a good look at Halo Campaign Evolved, and just recently I saw the overview trailer. So yeah, skulls. Of course, they have to have the skulls. I will say though, the one skull that should not, one feature that should not be a skull, is the third-person perspective thing. I mean, unless it's a skull that you can obtain that easily, then sure, that's fine. But I feel like that should have just been an on and off feature in the settings, rather than be a skull feature. But hey, good to know that third-person perspective is back in Halo. I mean, don't you want to see Master Chief's ass? We did also get a glimpse of the one of the three new missions on the campaign. It's pretty interesting though that they are bringing a lot of new weapons. Well, I wouldn't say new, but yeah, a lot of weapons in the Combat Evolved, Campaign Evolved. We're even getting a new enemy, or returning enemy, Brutes. Which is funny because, you know, as you know, Halo 1 never brought in Brutes. I mean, yeah, that's the point of a remake. It's supposed to introduce some new stuff, new elements. Also, apparently if you buy the digital deluxe edition or something, you can actually change the armor color. I guess that's for the sake of multiplayer, so that way nobody gets confused on which Master Chief is who when you're playing online co-op. I imagine that's going to be sold as like a separate DLC for those who don't want to buy the digital deluxe. There's also Gears of War Day E, or the E Day. Yeah, it's Gears of War. I would say a lot of things, but the gameplay speaks for itself. Marcus Phoenix is back. Dom is back. Time reloading. The Locust. It's good old-fashioned Gears of War. And you know, it's a funny, good thing too that that E-Day is a thing, considering that I was just going through the entire trilogy. I'm just now currently going through Gears 3. And then I guess that would be it. The other Gears games did not happen. I know I've heard a lot of bad things about 5. 4 I didn't hear much about. Unless anybody has played 4 and you tell me it's good, maybe I would believe you. But Nah, for me, as of now, the trilogy is where it's at. And maybe Judgment, but, you know, Judgment is kind of like good, is all I can remember. Because I have played Judgment when it came out a long time ago, but I barely had any memories of that game. Like, you know, what was the plot entirely? I just know it goes through the most of the game as a flashback. But I don't know if it served any purpose whatsoever why it was made. Anyways, what else was there? I did mention about Final Fantasy, so yeah, Final Fantasy VII Part 3, we finally got a name for it, and I'm not surprised that that was the name that they went with. Revelation, of course. And considering the cover art, yeah, and it's already been confirmed by Square Enix, by the director. Zack is going to be in there somehow, some way. Crazy, I know. I mean, unless you've already seen the ending of Part 1, then yeah. Zack was going to come back one way or another, or somehow be relevant. And because Aerith is, you know, no longer with us. Or is she? I swear to God, I would say expect the unexpected with Revelations, because if Zack is able to come back, who's to say that Aerith cannot be back? You don't need a Phoenix Down, you just need some stupid ass plot. Or whatever Square Enix is cooking up. But that being said, the game is bringing back a job class system, so interesting that they're doing that. But I guess at the same time, it kind of makes sense since you lose your one big healer, Aerith, right? You might as well go for a substitute, which is Tifa. Yeah, they can change. Yep. I mean, what's funny is that if you remember, Sakurai also, during his Sephiroth showcase, he did say something about, like, something in the lines of, like, how the remake ending might be different than the original. Whether you took his words for granted or not, we're about to find out soon, or I mean next year. And yeah, based on early 2027. I'm gonna assume February. Oh, and yeah, it's gonna be multi-platform, no longer PlayStation exclusive, because even Square was not having Sony's bullshit. Or they just don't want people to wait another year. Yeah, forget that. Oh shit, okay, now I'm noticing the timer. So yeah, multi-platform, and it's still coming to Switch too. But watch this: when the next next gen consoles come out, Xbox Project Helix, the entire Final Fantasy trilogy will be on that. Better visuals, faster loading times, etc., etc. Mark my words, because Square's got to do that. Why else? Why not? It's Final Fantasy VII. It's the entire remake. The entire complete remake. So, yeah, why not? And while they're at it, while they're at it, Capcom will re-release Resident Evil Trilogy on next gen, on the next gen consoles. Cause why not? It'll be like Resident Evil 4 and Skyrim all over again. What else was there? Well, I don't want to. There's not much for me to say in regards to the new God of War game. It's not a spin-off, as much as people wish it was. It's legit, and I'm sure you've seen all the complaints. Oh, it's another Sony game with a female protagonist. Yeah, I know, I've heard. But put it this way, ladies and gentlemen, it was inevitable. If you play God of War 2018, you know how often Kratos and even his son Atreus has mentioned about the wife, mother, but you never actually got to see her, what she has done, why was she apparently important, integral to the story? And why, who is this, Odin? I mean, you have to remember, Odin sent Baldur to go after, to go down and find anything related with Atreus, or even Kratos' wife. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of like part of the plot of the game, wasn't it? Heck, Kratos could have gotten a straight up answer instead of going through a brutal fight with Baldur. But yeah, it was inevitable, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you didn't want to accept it, but it had to happen. I'm just saying. Now, here's the sad thing, though, for all those people who are still against it. The combat looks great. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they even put air juggling now. Air combos. And you know what? There's only one thing, one shred of positivity I can talk about in the story. At least just based off of what they've shown. So apparently, according to the devs, the place where Kratos' wife, Faye, has been sent is basically the afterlife of the gods. I say again, it's a world of the afterlife where all gods go. And since, you know, Kratos' wife, Faye, is technically a goddess, she got sent there. And you saw it. A lot of mythology figures, gods and goddesses. And I think that alone should give you an idea, right? Who and what you should expect in a place of the afterlife where gods and goddesses are sent. Do you remember? And you remember what Kratos had done? I'll give you a straight answer. He killed every god of Olympus. So imagine what kind of reunion, like if it happens, because again, this is all just assumption here. Like we don't know the full detail. The game's not even out yet. But just imagine what kind of meeting Faye would have if she were to meet up with Ares, Zeus, Athena, Poseidon, Hades, Helios. We got Helios in God of War Valhalla. Think of how awkward it will be. It's gonna be like, oh no, you're the wife of the man who killed all of Olympus. Gameplay. The story takes place in Ragnarok Hall. War to Odin. Damn. Well, there you go. There you have it. So Odin did had a thing. He had an agenda to find Kratos' wife to get answers. But what he got was a boy. A threat. But a boy, no less, that knows all, sees all because of some mask. I don't know. I haven't played Ragnarok. So yeah, like that again solidifies the point why, and you know, it was inevitable that a God of War game starring Kratos' wife was gonna be a thing. Kratos blows the horn. Oh yeah, I think I remember something about that, yeah. Oh well, Kratos has blown a lot of horns. If you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, so that's like the only one thing I kind of like I'm looking forward to. If Santa Monica makes it happen. Honestly, I hope that they make it happen. Like, Faye, as she continues to explore the afterlife world of the gods and goddesses, she bumps into his Zeus. And then Zeus eventually finds out who Faye got busy with. But then I kind of wonder what happens if you die in the afterworld. It's the afterlife world. Is there another afterlife world of an afterlife? Maybe. But that's got to be an interesting encounter. And this is like another thing that I think a lot of people kind of like overlooked, which I don't blame them because initial reactions always gets the best of, you know, taking a second thought. So look, people, I know you're not a fan of Sony changing their directions of too many female protagonists, this and that. But aren't you forgetting that there's another God of War game in the making by Santa Monica? Oh yeah, that's right, the remake trilogy. And yes, I know the trilogy will most likely have censorship because the modern times. But hey, if it's a good remake, then why not? You'll still get what you're gonna get. Well, assuming that the remake is good. So yeah, again, if you don't like what you're gonna get with God of War, what's it called? Laufey, I don't know. I didn't hear the pronunciation of the title. If you don't like that, then just wait for the remake trilogy remake. It's a win-win, I guess. Although something tells me people will still play the game because what if, and I'm just saying, what if God of War Laufey plays a big integral role to the next God of War title after Ragnarok? Well, that's all much I can say about Sony and giving them a bit of a slack. The rest is all up to Sony, really. Because clearly Sony knows they've been kind of like screwed over a bit. Or they're screwing themselves over. Sony continues to rely on live service games, but failing at it. But at the same time, they even admitted that Eastern Asian games are dominating the market. So, and it's not live service games. Square Enix, Capcom, Nintendo, you know, Bandai Namco even, you know. And of course the Chinese developers, they're making big bucks. And it's not because of live service games, but it's more about making good quality games, giving people what they want, gamers what they want. So hey, wake up, Sony. You want to regain people's trust with your IPs? Well, you better start by making good games, really good games. No modern agenda. Let's face it. I'm gonna have to say it. Well, then again, it's been said like a billion times on the internet. Yeah, like that's the problem that Sony is now suffering from. They're making games for the wrong audience. At least when it comes to their first-party exclusives. In fact, that could be said about Marathon. Apparently, a lot of people on, at least according to Steam, huge amount of people have went back to Destiny 2. Like, I know apparently there's some sort of event happening with Destiny 2. But because of what's happening between Sony and Bungie, Destiny fans are making it loud and clear. They don't want Marathon. They want Destiny. They want more Destiny. Or, better yet, they want Destiny 3 to be a thing. And when you have players doing that, you know, not forcing them, giving them a reason to go back to the last game, you know you have a problem. A problem with your structure and your current running game that you thought was going to be successful. Just because it's from the company behind Destiny. No. I made this argument here. I made this point, this issue, I guess I should call it an issue. Just because a game, you know, in your trailers you say it's from the studio behind Destiny and such. No. That's just marketing for, like, oh yeah, it's being made by this company, so buy our game or get excited. No. Remember what happened to Sonic Forces? From the company that the team that brought you Sonic Generations and Colors. Yeah, and how did that turn out? Turns out it was not even the same game you were playing. It was all a matter of who the people within the company. Because, you know, you can say it with a straight face. Bungie of today, when they were making Bungie back then when they were making Destiny 2, is not the same Bungie that made Halo Reach, or hell, the entire Halo trilogy for that matter. Heck, I can the director who did Halo 2, he didn't stay at Bungie when they were making Halo 3. He left because he didn't want to deal with Microsoft's antics, whatever business antics he didn't like. So yeah, Halo 3 was actually directed by somebody else, but they still pulled through. And same thing what happened to God of War. What happened between God of War 2 and 3? God of War 3 had a different director. Because the guy who directed God of War 2, he retired, or he resigned for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason was, but he moved on. And yeah, it's even, you can actually see the video if you have God of War 3, the original or remastered. They actually show you like the making of God of War 3, and yeah, literally in the first few minutes, the director of God of War 2 announced that he was gonna leave. And, you know, everybody at Santa Monica felt like a WTF moment. Because it's like, what? You're leaving us hanging here? Even though we're just about to, you know, get ready for God of War 3. So then they got a new director for God of War 3. And he was already part of Santa Monica. but his previous position was being an art director. Can you believe that? From art director to being a director of a big game. That's a big responsibility. Oh yeah, and that very same person who directed God of War 3, you know what other game he made? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. You want to know the reason why that game was so good? Yeah. Give credit to Stig. I forgot his last name, but yeah, he did that. He did both games. He had the experience. And yeah, again, he was art director of all positions. As far as I know, no, they're still gonna leave the game up and running. It's just that there's not gonna be, there's not gonna be any new expansions or any of that sort. You'll just continue to, people can still continue to play Destiny 2 with whatever content the game has. In fact, Destiny 1 is still even active apparently. I thought that game was shut down, but no, it's still active. And you know what? I think this is actually worth pointing out. Sony, by all circumstances, cannot shut down Destiny 1 and 2. You know why? Remember the thing that's happening right now, the Stop Killing Games movement? Yeah, the California law has already pushed the bill. It hasn't been cemented yet, but it's getting there. So, which means Sony, if they were to shut down any live service game, including Destiny 1 and 2, they could actually be filed, be sued. They would be forced to face the court of law if they were to shut down those games. Because yeah, now it's a movement that's happening. It's being pushed forward. And at the end of the day, Bungie would have to find a way to make the game accessible should they choose to remove the online mode. Like, have like an offline option. Otherwise, if they can keep Destiny 1 and 2 servers running, then, then they'll just leave it running for eternity. So yeah, no. So yeah, don't worry about the game disappearing, because yeah, if Sony dare tried, yeah, they're welcome to try. Because if they do, like I said, they'll be in for the biggest lawsuit of their life. It's just unfortunate though, yeah, support for the game has to come to a stop. And yeah, because Sony is telling Bungie, hey, yeah, Destiny 2 nope, doesn't matter anymore. Marathon matters. But as of today, as I speak, the players speak different languages. They're saying they would rather play Destiny 2 than Marathon. And when your player, whatever fan base you have left is, when the gamers are doing that, and even your fan base is turning your back against you, yeah, honestly, your best option is to listen to them. Otherwise, get ready to face more backlashes and waste even more millions of dollars. And then, guess what happens when you start wasting more money? Layoffs, and price increase on your hardware and peripherals. As if the PS5 wasn't already expensive enough, but hey, you know who to blame. It's not inflation. It's not even due to marketing issues. Because, yeah, apparently Sony's going to increase the price on the PlayStation Plus thing. Well, they specifically said for 1 month and 3 month tiers. They didn't say about 1 year, but yeah, you can imagine how pissed off people are. So much so that people are actually getting ready to not renew their PlayStation Plus subscription. Which is fun because hey, you don't need PlayStation Plus to play, live service games like Genshin. The only thing I'd be missing out on is just free stuff. Like, that's it. Just free monthly stuff. And yeah, PlayStation discounts, but okay. Not that it matters, because I never got Xbox Game Pass, and I didn't have any need for it. Not yet, at least. I only go obtain a Game Pass Core is when they offer it for like $1. $1 for, you know, for 2 weeks, just so I can play GTA 5 online. You should have seen the challenge last week over family and we Oh, I'm not surprised. They're still doing it as I speak. I was just looking at like just a random like Twitter post from PlayStation Twitter, and yeah, so much of we want Destiny 3. I haven't checked it yet, but is Marathon now free to play? Because apparently I heard that it went free to play. It happened again on the Summer Game Fest. See what I mean? Sony doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They're refusing to wake up to reality. They're living in their own delusional world. While also at the same time, they are giving us what we, you know, kind of want. I mean, hey, remember, we got Marvel Tokon because of them. No, it's not. Oh, okay, not yet. Oh, okay, so no, it's just, I guess that was just a rumor. Or more, that sounds more like if Bungie, or Sony, I guess, it wouldn't be Bungie's call. If, well, no, not Sony. Marathon's multi-platform, right? Well, then again, isn't like Marathon kind of like Sony funded? Because yeah, Bungie is owned by Sony, so yeah. So no, then that being said, then yeah, if Sony is being desperate to get people to play Marathon, they most likely would have told Bungie, hey, make Marathon free to play. We're losing numbers here. And yeah, they are losing a huge. Oh shit! I didn't see the timer. Yeah, they're losing numbers because people are going back to Destiny 2, making their actions speak louder than volume. Well, Sony better figure out something real quick. And you know what's sad? They can't give up on Marathon. Not yet, at least. If they can give it like another 3 months, then they'll just call it a setback. Yeah, like Concord did. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Let's move on to something positive. Ocarina of Time getting a remake. And you know what that means? People are going back to playing the original. Which I just started seeing like a large number of VTubers starting to play Ocarina of Time once again. Whether it's their first time or they're replaying it for the sake of the fact that the remake is happening. Yeah. It's good to see a resurgence. Or more like, I should say, like just people glazing over Ocarina of Time, how it was such a great game. And it still is. Still one of the best, all-time best Nintendo 64 games. I would play it if I had the Nintendo online thingamajig. And it's quite a surprise that the remake is going to be released this year. Now, I'm not going to say that the... I think we have... There's no gameplay. It was just CGI trailer, so we don't know how or what the game's going to look like on Switch 2. But I'm just saying, if the game looks like how the trailer looked like, that's going to be crazy. And you know what's going to be better? There might be some censorship. Well, one or two things. Well, okay, I say better as in, I say that with sarcasm. Because they did censor one of the enemies, if you remember. Remember what's his name? The Dead Hand. In the original N64, that thing had a lot of blood on its body. But then on the 3DS remake, they kind of like made it very blurry. Like the red markings are still there, but yeah. But just imagine what both the Dead Hand and the Redeads will look like. If you weren't freaked out by the Redeads enough, get ready to see what they'll look like in the remake. And I swear to God, Nintendo better not chicken out. Hell, same thing for the Shadow Temple in general. They have to keep it as creepy and eerie as the original was. Otherwise, literally the Shadow Temple is... Where does it take place? Somewhere in the graveyard, right? So, yeah, you gotta make it creepy, scary. And Zelda games have been known to have, like, some creepy stuff, you know? I mean, have you seen Twilight Princess? Or hell, Majora's Mask. Everything about Majora's Mask is eerie and creepy and depressing. They still managed to retain that in the 3DS remake, so there's still some hope, I guess. Oh, and get ready to hear Navi over and over again. Hey, listen! And I wouldn't be surprised if they had voice acting. Considering, well, after Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Age of Imprisonment. Would I be okay with it? I mean, in my opinion, if there's an option for both voice acting and non-voice acting, I'd take it. But honestly, I don't care. As long as the presentation is good. If they still do plan to have voice acting, it has to be at least good. That's all. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll only point out. What else? What else was there? Oh, we got to look at Fable. Fable got delayed, which I was not surprised. I feel like, yeah, that was gonna happen. Ooh, big pay. All right, the Team Ninja. I mean, Koei Tecmo in general. Holy shit! Like, yeah, I guess I should talk about that. First off, I'll start with the small announcement reveal. So, of course, Koei Tecmo would release another Atelier game. I thought it was gonna come out this year, but no, it's next year. And yeah, it's a direct sequel to Atelier Yumiya, which I have yet to finish because it's part of my back catalog. I really gotta go back and play that game. And yeah, it's the one Atelier game that I really don't mind in terms of combat. Cause yeah, I like my RPGs being action based. I don't know, in my opinion, I'm not a fan of like turn based. At least in this day and age for me. Unless it's Pokemon, sure. Maybe it's just because I suck at Atelier turn-based games. Like the turn-based combat and Atelier games, I'm probably just bad at it. Yeah, no, I think it's mostly that. What else was there? Koei Tecmo, Poképia. Yeah, don't forget Poképia is actually developed by Koei Tecmo. That game's getting an expansion, 3 waves, which is good. Which means, yeah, I mean, it was to be expected. People do love Poképia. I mean, hey, if you like Dragon Quest Builders, yeah, because it's from the same developers, Koei Tecmo. Or specifically Omega Force. Yep, the name of the company behind Dynasty Warriors, not directly the same, people. Although if you told me it was from the same people, then that would be funny. What else? Oh yeah, Wulong. Wulong was at the Xbox showcase. Yep. Team Ninja just can't stop. And you know what's crazy? They're working on Neo 3's DLC. Yeah, no, don't forget, Neo 3 has a season pass, if I recall. And then there's Dead or Alive 7 in the making. Dead or Alive 6 Last Round is around the corner. And now Wulong 2. Get ready for Wulong 3 then. And yeah, it looks like they actually now improved the combat, because now there's like air combos you can do. So yeah, excited for that. My guess is that's going to be released in February. Yeah, probably in the same month as Final Fantasy VII Remake. Sure, that's a gut punch that Koei Tecmo is gonna take. Well, then again, Final Fantasy VII comes out after GTA 6. It's one good game after another. But does that mean you have to buy all of them? Well, unless you're rich and you have all the time in the world, sure. But, nah, you don't have to. Like, if you ask me, well, obviously, I would pick Wulong over everything. You have to also remember, GTA 6 doesn't have any online mode. Not yet, at least. And Final Fantasy VII, I've not even played a single one of any of the games. I've only played the demo of Remake, and that's it. It just wasn't in my radar of interest. Yet. I guess maybe it's because I told myself that I would rather play the game when the entire thing is completed. Maybe that's why. I need to find an exit real fast. So, yeah. Oh, exit. What else was there? Oh yes, we got a reveal of the team in Marvel Tokon, the Knights of Doom. And yeah, none of them were much of a surprise. Yeah, the last team trailer did show a flicker of a real obvious hint. Green Goblin, Carnage, and yeah, Magneto. Okay, well, Magneto was an obvious, but it was still exciting to see him in the game. It just wouldn't be a Marvel fighting game without the curly mustache. And then yeah, it's really interesting to see that Green Goblin is finally in a Marvel fighting game. I remember I would argue back then, like, there was no way because of his glider and how awkward he would look like if he was off his glider fighting on foot. But they made it work, and you know, in hindsight, of course it was gonna work. And then Carnage over Venom. Look, man, Venom had his time. Maybe he'll be DLC, but you gotta get somebody else. You gotta get the other symbiote. Venom himself. I mean, Carnage, sorry. So, yeah. And apparently, so yeah, there's one more team left to reveal, which is led by Ghost Rider, if I'm not mistaken. Some people are predicting it's gonna be the Midnight Suns, which includes Blade and maybe even Deadpool. I feel like, honestly, I feel like Deadpool is a no-brainer as well. Well, if he doesn't show up in the supposedly Midnight Suns team, DLC is still in the cards. Who else was in the Midnight Suns? Blade, Ghost Rider. Anybody else? I swear, there was like somebody else on the top of my head as well. You would punch a child? Give me your wallet. You didn't see anything, officer. He started it. What else happened? Oh yes, the ZZZ special program happened Friday. 3.0, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and I guess I should apologize. So, I was hoping, I was even expecting that we would at least get one A-rank agent to be like a supplementary character for the S rank. I talked about that. But no, Hoyoverse decided to get a little too greedy. But I guess that shouldn't come as a surprise. No, every character, the new characters are all S ranks. And I guess the only one we're getting that's free is, yeah, Bell and Wise with their new stand. And I thought their new stand was gonna be a wind element, but no, it's an attack either character. And the last character that was in that same category was Zhou Yuan. Yeah, the officer with cake. She was if I recall, she was the last character that was either attack character. Either way, hey, having another is good. Why not? But they really need to start thinking about considering a supplementary A-rank equivalent to a wind character, because yeah, in the first phase banner, the first new character, I don't remember her name. It's the lady with the big fan. Yeah, she's the first S rank wind character. And she's not even attack, she's anomaly if I recall. Right? I'm pretty sure she's anomaly. Yeah, she's anomaly. And then the other S rank character that's in phase 2, she's a fire stun. The little lady with the big hat, tall hat, and apparently she has an arm cannon. That's what makes her a stun. Well, here's hoping that they make an A rank wind character because they gotta do that. Otherwise, and I'm saying this as a big fat warning because it happened to Honkai Star Rail. If Hoyoverse continues to just give us only S rank characters in Season 3, this is going to lead to the biggest power creep moment in the game, and it's not going to be a good one. In fact, dare I say, Season 3 would be considered as the inferior season. Again, if Hoyoverse only gives S rank characters. Because if they don't even give us at least 1 or 2 A ranks, they F themselves over big time. Because that was the thing about Honkai Star Rail's problem. They had no 4 stars, no supplementary character, no substitute. It was just straight up S ranks one after another. Because they expected everybody to spend money on the gachas just to get the S ranks. Because if you didn't get any of the most, if not all, of the new S rank characters in the Honkai, you're fucked. Excuse my language, but I mean that in my whole heart. You're completely fucked. And that's not just me saying. Everybody did not like Honkai 3.0 update. The story was confusing, was one thing that some people didn't mind, they did enjoy, but also got confused. But in terms of combat, character, and, well, literally combat and characters, people hated it. People were struggling. So much so that Hoyoverse had to nerf some of the story bosses. People couldn't even progress through the story because the bosses were too hard. Because the people didn't even have the characters the new characters that was needed for the story. To progress the story. And no, switching to easy mode didn't make things even better. So, again, because of power creeping. And then, yeah, eventually Hoyoverse had to start buffing older characters in Honkai Star Rail for the sake of fixing the power creeping. And no, still to this day, Honkai has no new 4-star character. So yeah, like I said, I'm saying this in the biggest what-if scenario, foreshadow, big warning. If Hoyoverse does that with ZZZ, yeah, get ready to start calling Season 3 the worst one. The black sheep of the game's lifespan. And then maybe it gets better in Season 4, who knows. But that won't be for another year. Which means if Season 3, in the first 3 updates, so in the first 3 or 4 months, if nothing improves or people, whether it's story or even character combat, people are struggling and because of power creeping, then you can say Season 3 is a dog poop. And then, unfortunately, you're going to have to go through the rest of the entire season, the whole year around, dealing with Season 3's shenanigans. But yeah, here's hoping that it doesn't lean towards that. Also, the new locale, it looks like it's set in the UK. I hope you like British people. Well, I do. I like their accent. And their big, giant clock. But it's also, it's a city in the sky. And it's apparently home to where the Bang Boos originated from. Yeah, I did one of the events, the Bootopia. Yeah, the Bootopia. And then, yeah, that's where I encountered the very tall Bang Boo. And I was like, oh, so this is how they were going to tease the season 3 location. And just like with every other location, new locales, there's gonna be like a new thing to grind for to level up. Like if you remember in season 2, you had to like level up the temple or something like that, right? So yeah, get ready for that for season 3, whatever it may be. And yeah, you still have your accommodations there, like you can the video store management, the little gotcha. How, like how in season 1 it was a scratch card, season 2 was the dices. So there's still that. And yeah, the Tin Master is still there to serve us espressos. Yeah. And probably some new facilities to work with. Excuse me. But yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to season 3. But I'm just really hoping that, Ma'am, you were hitting me with an invisible bag. Thanks. Just hoping that season 3, in terms of characters and combat, it's balanced, it's good, and you don't have to rely on, well, microtransactions. At least for me, if there's a male character, at least it's a big skip. And speaking of male characters, yeah, as of now, Phase 2 banner for Genshin is now live with the new character, new male character. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, he's a new. I think he's a polearm user, polearm cryo character. I tried him out during the in the trial run, and yeah, he's pretty good. He's definitely the kind of character you would take on the offense, but make sure you have a character that provides support. Again, the tutorial will pretty much tell you why you should. Oh yeah, and there's also a new story quest focusing on him. So, more Primogems! I still haven't even started the main story quest. I gotta do that. What else happened? Oh, I got to see the Back Rooms movie. I did tweet it out. I won't spoil anything, but I will say, eat your horse poop, Hollywood. This is where independent filmmakers and directors really shine. I got Durin and his weapon. Oh, nice. I'm not sure what Durin does exactly, but I heard he's pretty good. And having his weapon, hey, doubling down, even better. Thanks for the free wallet. Sorry, where was I? Oh yeah, so yeah, I saw the Backrooms movie, pretty good, 9 out of 10. Despite the trailer saying it's R-rated, but my theater says 14. I mean, there was blood, there's some gore, but it's like not on-screen gore, unfortunately. So, Maybe when it comes into like physical copies, DVDs, maybe they'll release like a director's cut that shows the gore. I hope. It does answer a few questions regarding like anybody who follows the Backrooms web series, but it also does leave more questions than answers, obviously. I even hear that Kane Parson is thinking about making a sequel right now, but that remains to be seen. But I think without a shadow of a doubt, it's gonna happen, considering that the film made so much money, more than Disney. What was it? Mandalorian and Grugo or whatever. Yeah. I know some people will complain that the Backrooms movie was kind of like slow paced, but honestly, I don't mind it because the last few movies that I watched in theaters were way too fast. Like the pacing of animated movies are going too fast, and I thought especially the Mario movie, the Galaxy movie, too fast. Everything is happening for the sake of cameos and Easter eggs. Hell, people say Galaxy was not a great one because of its pacing. So, what was it? But yeah, Backrooms is slow, but not in a bad way. I didn't mind the pacing because it felt like that's exactly what a person would how they would react if they were in such liminal spaces. Like I even said to myself, if I were in the character's Clark's position, like holy shit, yeah, I'd be walking slow, and then of course I'd be running fast if I started hearing something getting close to me. And let me tell you, as I was watching, like the moment things were happening, like finally Clark discovers the back room, I kid you not, I got chills. My goosebumps were popping. I felt cold. I was shaking with excitement. I was like, oh, here we go. The web series that has built upon this moment. And I was like, dang, yeah. I can't remember the last time a horror movie ever made me feel that way. I was shaken. So good. Full constellation of Seiyu and official C2 on Prune. Good. It's always good to have them 4 stars at full constellation. C2 is not bad, but eventually when you start seeing them again in like reruns, yeah, it's kind of like a take or leave situation if you want to spend your Primo Gems. I mean, at least that's for me. Like, I mean, I would only do it if it's convenient for me. Like, if there's a new 5-star waifu and the 4-star character is there that I haven't got a full constellation, yeah, of course I would take it. But if that 4-star character is with a husbando banner, like I said, I have to make that decision of should I take it or leave it? Should I risk it or not? So unfortunately for me, no, I have to save I'm saving my Primo Gems, because next update are the dear Sandrone. She's coming back after taking a gut stab by the doctor. Yeah, she's coming back. Our automata dressed as a maid. I wonder how she's gonna play though. Is she gonna summon her giant robot? Like that lady from Overwatch? Bob, do something! Why is there a smiley face here? Anyways, something about the back room. Something else I wanted to say as well. Um, Despite taking place in the 1990s, I was kind of hoping that I would get like some flashback nostalgia 90s vibes, but I didn't feel like any of that was present in the film. Not even the classic CRT TVs. Like especially the Captain Clark commercial. Nothing about that felt very 90s. Oh well, but that's fine. Because the moment Async gets involved, you kind of like forget, like, yeah, we didn't get any of that in the 90s. Oh yeah, and I do like how the film opens up on that. Like right off the bat, you already get your found footage moment. And yeah, like I said, if you watch the web series, yeah, Async, when you start seeing them, it's like, oh boy, what are they up to this time? Run, lady! Run fast! What are you swinging? You have no bag. What else? Definitely the ending left me to realize something about the back rooms. Something I guess I would consider like a reason how the series could actually expand upon. I only have 4 left.
이 귀한 걸 정말 나 주는 거야? 역시 내가 사람 보는 데서 이런 전리품을 구해온 거야. 너무 마음에 들어요.
I need to find a flower shop then.
정말 오랜만이야.
How many fawns? I have 1.8 million. What could I spend with that? Let's go to Leon. Wait, do I have any reasons to buy another property though? Actually, how much is the next property? $2 million? Damn. Do you see the gameplay? Yeah, I did. Looks like they're really amping it up in the store in terms of like the story content. As they should. Yeah, and yeah, the new locale, there's like lots to see, lots of things to do. Get ready to grind on whatever they're gonna offer you. But trust me, eventually you'll reach the max level. It'll take time, but you go at your own pace. It's not a race. Just go however you like. Because trust me, you'll be ranked up to whatever the maximum is way before the season even ends. Just think about that. You're already when you're right now looking back on season 2, you're pretty much already leveled up your temple, right? You probably already done that in the first by month 3 or 4 or something. I don't know, depending on how you manage that.
드디어 내 차례인가?
The power of tomato. The MC is getting a stand-like power for free. Oh yeah. Yeah, obviously for free, because Bellin Wise is our character. Yeah, our stand is a either attack character, so start grinding on getting those attack chips and the either chips, so that attack promotion chips and then yeah, the either chips. Start grinding on those because yeah. Oh, and get a lot of those EXPs. EXP materials and such. And start thinking about like what W engine you're gonna have to give them.
쉬러 가도 돼.
I'm thinking, speaking of which, I don't even know if I have any spare attack chips, attack W engines. I might actually have to start, which one? Exchange, swapping, borrowing a W engine from other characters. But then I have to be responsible to making sure that when I switch to the character that previously owned the W engine, I switch it back. Otherwise, they'll be fighting empty-handed with like no attack buffs. Oh yeah, wait. I have 1 million, so I have enough to buy fawns. Yes. What'd I get? Aw, come on. How many are left? 6. Ugh. Close, but that's not what I wanted. Oh well, put it on anyways. Yeah, it's that thing, the Porsche. Where is it? The Porsche collaboration. You get the outfit and the car sold separately through the gacha. And apparently, as of now, it is the fastest car in the game, which makes sense. I mean, hey, Hotta Studios paid money. They paid money and they gotta make Porsche look good. Just like how Capcom had to make Porsche look good in Resident Evil 9. And how do you make Porsche look good in Resident Evil 9? You let the man himself drive it. Leon S. Kennedy. Think how much money he has for doing the kind of service he's done for many years. Many decades. But then he does the most irresponsible thing, leaving the Porsche car in Raccoon City. Capcom, what are you doing? Leon shouldn't leave such a good, valuable car like that behind. What if a zombie starts driving it away? Well, then again, I guess that means the zombie gets to take the sponsorship. How long is that event, by the way? Because eventually, I think it's going to disappear. Forever. 26. 26 days. Huh. Actually, well, hang on. What's even left in it? There's Fawns, money, beetle coins. That's all that's left. Shite. Oh well. Excuse me.
내 차례인가? 유라차! 드디어 내 차례인가? 라크리모사 차례야.
Well, at least this game, when it comes to the gacha, you're always guaranteed to get the new S rank character. Guaranteed, there's no pity. Or, I mean, there's no 50-50. At least on your first try, if I recall. Like, when you're getting the new character for the first time. Does that make it a good gacha game? More or less, yeah, but at the same time, because that feels very passive, the game doesn't offer you that many rewards. They want you to spend microtransactions. And it wouldn't be the first. Hota did this with Tower Fantasy, and it was the worst. Tower Fantasy, actually, I just pulled a gacha in that game. Last time I did, the game hates me. Yeah, well, sorry, but also not sorry, Hoto Studios, but I'm sticking the middle finger at Tower Fantasy. At least with this game, you actually put love and care. In fact, I saw the marketing for this game was really up there. They promoted it in so many countries, even at Gamescom. Tower Fantasy never got this level of love. Still though, this game still needs some quality of life improvements, which they have. This current update, they did improve on the UI, some of the controls. They even added in a autopilot for driving. You just need to set a destination marker and then the car will just automatically drive there. No accidents. It's like Google cars. You know, they're not driven by anybody. It's automated. But there's still some improvements that they need to make. Like, there's still some environments where I get stuck on. Some bosses just are. Actually, no, some of the bosses are fine so far. But yeah, if they keep this up, maybe then they'll be on the same line as well, still far-fetched from even getting on the same level as Hoyoverse. But, you know, I will give them little slack. Maybe they'll be like close. Not too close, but close. But then again, they still have to compete with Kuro Games. In fact, Kuro Games, as you already know, they did a collaboration with Cyberpunk Edge Runners. So, 2 guest characters, Rebecca and Lucy, are in the game. Rebecca is for free, but Lucy you got a gacha for, of course. You better hope you don't lose your 50-50. And yes, there's a whole world, set of enemies, and a story set in Cyberpunk 2077. Or sorry, Edge Runners. You even get to have a boss fight with Adam Smasher. And guess what? Lucy actually meets with the main character from the anime. But I'm not gonna say how, why, and yeah, that's it. But just know this. Wuthering Waves fans got it good. And Genshin, well, they're going to have to start thinking, Hoyoverse going to, yeah. Well, no, Genshin has the Fate series. They just included 2 new characters in Honkai Star Rail. Gilgamesh And Rin, guess which one was free? Yeah, that's right, Gilgamesh, because he's a man. I mean, they made Archer free, and then who is it? Lancer? No, not Lancer. Saber. Yeah, Saber. You had to gotcha for, which yep, I do have. I got Saber. She's pretty good. In fact, too good. But still didn't fit. But still, it still didn't solve the power creeping because she is the power creeper. But yeah, Genshin doesn't have a collab. I mean, unless you want to count Horizon, which I guess at this point people should be grateful because at least Aloy is being treated a little fair in Genshin. You know, in fact, so fair. Like, if you actually have Aloy in your game, you know how like Genshin does birthday calls, and then those characters send you like a in-game mail, and then some free food and treats, whatever. Yeah, they still do that even to this day. Aloy's birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and then she was actually mentioning her tale exploring Noncray. And no, throughout the whole, ever since she joined Genshin, all of her birthday messages were all of her travels throughout Teyvat, from Mondstadt, Liyue, Fontaine, and so much more. All of it. So yeah, Aloy has been having her own adventures, better than her own game that she stars in. But yeah, that's the only game that Genshin has collaborated with. ZZZ has no collaboration yet. And no, we're not going to count that Street Fighter thing that happened between the devs. That was just two devs expressing how they emphasize on action, whether it be fighting games or RPG takes. Although it would be crazy, yeah, for sure, if somehow, some way, a Street Fighter character did show up in ZZZ. Only question is, who, and would it make sense? And yeah, really, if the collaboration, you know, is it worth doing it? I mean, then again, I question why Kuro Games chose Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I mean, I heard it was a good anime, but really, of all IPs, they chose to collaborate. I bet it has something to do with the motorcycle, and then the fact being the game Wuthering Waves does have like modern city settings. I think that's definitely one thing I will say now that I think about it. That's something that I think Hoyoverse needs for both Genshin and ZZZ. They need a collaboration with another IP. I'm not gonna say it's gonna help boost the sales or get more people to play the game or get returning players, but it's not out of the question for that to consider that possibility. Or that kind of result. But I think it needs that to get some kind of like hype and spark, you know? And yeah, why not? People like collaborations. I mean, don't take my word for it. Look what Marvel vs. Capcom did back then. I'm still waiting for any kind of new information on Dead or Alive 6, but Team Ninja is going around asking content creators, hey, would you like to cover our game? We're sign up for this and that, and maybe we'll consider. And also another tweet like saying, don't forget to get the digital deluxe edition to get this alternate color palette of Mighty Rose. And it's just basically her default outfit, but in white. All in white. Yeah, but Team Ninja, hello. I know you're busy with Dead or Alive 7 and Wu Long and Neo 3, but what about Dead or Alive 6 last round information? Otherwise, what's the point of people upgrading to the last round game? Other than new characters. Oh yeah, that's right. Sonic Cross Worlds and Virtua Fighter. What's it? Crossroad. I swear, I'm calling it now. People are gonna get those words confused between Sonic Cross World and Virtua Fighter Crossroads. But yeah, Cross World is getting a year 2 season pass. Great. Meanwhile, Mario Kart World. Duh, what is DLC? When is DLC? It's more like it. But yeah, year 2, more. Oh, you do have a face. More characters, more worlds, more tracks, more carts. Who's next in line? And yeah, I totally forgot that Ninja Turtles and Avatar hasn't been released yet, right? So yeah, the game is still being treated pretty well. And more reasons to keep playing the game? Well, now you got it. Mario Kart World got no DLC. Not yet. And considering that we just had a Nintendo Direct today that had no absolute update on Mario Kart World, I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe they're cooking something. They just didn't have anything ready to show. But still, show or no, I mean, the fact that they had no show. Yeah, this is the point. This is the part where everybody, all the Sonic fans, throw back their heads and laugh. Ready? Ready! Ha 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 ha! Yeah, like that. I can see it right now. I don't even need to look it up. I bet there's already like some videos of Mario Kart World fans complaining. Sonic Cross World has just announced a Season 2 pack, but we still got no DLC? What are you doing, Nintendo? And blah blah blah, and it's a video that's probably like as long as 10 minutes. Maybe 20. 20 minutes of somebody explaining why and asking what is going on with Nintendo and why they're not making a Mario Kart DLC, when all of that can just be just done in a 5-minute video at least. Does it need to be 20? No. Does it need to be even 10? No. Just 5 minutes. Just say Sonic Cross World got Season 2 pass and Mario Kart World got nothing, and share your disbelief. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then come back when, I don't know, when Nintendo finally does announce that Mario Kart World will have DLC. But until then, well, you could just scratch your heads and start wondering why. Why, Nintendo? They still haven't opened up the theme park in this world. I'm waiting for it. So we do know that the first world is Godzilla. And then what was the other one? They showed more. It was Godzilla and something else. Oh yeah, the classic anime, Evola. I don't know how to pronounce it. Can't believe that anime is still getting some relevancy to this day. The last time I've seen it being relevant was when they did a collaboration with Tower Fantasy. Yeah, Tower Fantasy had a collaboration. You got to play it. You actually got to gacha and play as actually both characters. The lady dressed in red and the other one, the blue hair one. Crazy, huh? Wasn't there another one? Or was it just those two collaborations? Even though it's the world is in Godzilla, but what character is representing that? Because usually those DLC packs come with not just the stage, but the character as well. So then who represents Godzilla? Or is it going to be the miniature Godzilla? Because I do know there's a miniature Godzilla. Oh, speaking of Godzilla, Digital Eclipse and Atari had just recently announced that they are remastering. They're remastering one of the classic Godzilla beat 'em up games, the 3D brawler fighting game, Godzilla. What's it called? It was originally on the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. It's where it's like a one-on-one 3D brawler Godzilla fighting game. I played that game and I loved it back then. So I'm glad it's getting a remastered. Plus they're also throwing in some new game modes like a rampage mode. Or sorry, they call it destruction mode. You play as Godzilla and just wreak havoc in the city. Yeah, that's what it's called. Destroy all monsters melee. So far, they've only shown Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mecha Godzilla. So yeah, this is actually quite a big deal because it's been almost 12 years since the last Godzilla game came out. And that was exclusively on the PS4. And I think it was exclusive in Japan. But eventually it did get somebody did make a English mod for it. Or I think there was if there was an English release, I would have seen it on the PlayStation Store. So no, I think it was a Japanese exclusive title. But yeah, that was like almost a decade ago. That was the last Godzilla game. And since then, Godzilla has only appeared as guest characters in multiple other games. Including, and then there was a mobile game, I think, yeah. But we're not going to count those. Those are just mobile. So yeah, like I said, this is a big deal. It's a big deal, alright. Godzilla showing, actually getting a dedicated Godzilla game. And a remaster of a good one, no less. So yeah, I'm all for it. Just as long as Digital Eclipse does polish it, unlike Aspyr. Yeah, you know Aspyr. Aspyr and their shitty Star Wars ports. Yet they managed to port the Tomb Raider games just fine, but Star Wars, I don't know, somehow they keep screwing up Star Wars. But yeah, Digital Eclipse, please polish it. Make sure you polish it. Don't release it when it's in a shitty state. Especially the fact that there's going to be online play as well, so yeah. Or at least I think there's going to be online. Oh, so it's just Godzilla and Evangelion. Yeah, okay. Just those two for now. It'll be funny if they brought back Team Fortress 2 as guest characters for Sonic Racing. And yeah, because the last time Team Fortress 2 was in a Sonic Racing was All Stars Transformed, except they were exclusive on PC. And the other unfortunate part was at the time they could not get the original voice actors, so you had improv. Heavy weapons guy drives the boat. Spy drives the plane, and Pyro drives the car. Kind of an odd choice, Heavy, Spy, and Pyro, but hey, whatever works. I mean, hey, as long as they got the heavy weapons guy, sure, and that's good enough. Move! Don't make me push you.
같이 놀 수 있어서 즐거웠어요.
What else? Actually, come to think of it, isn't that Godzilla Remaster coming out in fall as well? Well, if it does, I'd rather pick that over GTA 6, that's for sure. Gosh. Just thinking about GTA 6 coming out, how much do you think they're going to sell it for? Considering how long it's been in development and how it is considered the #1 most anticipated game, it doesn't matter what kind of gamer you are, you know, you cannot disagree about GTA 6's status. The position that it is in. The only downside, however, it won't be on Switch 2, obviously. Actually, no, that's not the only downside. The other downside, aside of not the fact that it won't have online yet, actually, I can't think of. I had something on my mind, but it just disappeared. I'm gonna try the Dustblood. No, because it's a closed network test. That means you have to like sign up and hope for the best that you actually get picked to try out to participate in the network test. If it was open, then yeah, I would have definitely tried it. But closed network test, just if I'm not mistaken, closed means that it's an invite, right? Like you have not an invite. You have to register and hope that you get in. Kind of like Marvel Tokon did that too. Marvel Tokon did a closed beta test, and yeah, you couldn't even play it on. You couldn't play Marvel Tokon without registering. And you had like 2 ways to register, through PlayStation Network or I think through Arc System Work, I think. Yeah, I tried it, but then I was like, yeah, no, screw this. No, I'm good. That's fine. I don't mind. I would rather watch somebody else play it. Considering that the kind of game that the Dustblood is, like not that it's a Souls game. I love Souls games. It's just that it's PvP. And the last time I played a Souls game on PvP, I got wrecked. Oh, and that game was Wulong, because Wulong's PvP was stupid and unbalanced. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, really, how Miyazaki and the team at From Software, how they're gonna make it work. How are they gonna make a Souls game? I mean, aside of Dark Souls, like, you know how players can invade your world. Yeah, but that was more like a function. This Duskblood, it's intentional. It's intentional to be a PvP. It's built to be a PvP. So, how, through their experience, through From Software's past experience, how are they going to? Well, I can't say balance because there's no such thing as balance. But yeah, like, how are they going to make it work? I guess I should say. How are they going to make it balance and work? Because yeah, if any of you played a Souls game with direct PvP, you know it wouldn't work. Especially Elden Ring, I've seen a lot of player invasion moments in Elden Ring. One moment, you know, you'll have like some player invasion come in and they just do a simple sword fight because maybe they're new players, and then suddenly you'll have some other invader with post-game magic, and you barely even got halfway through the game. Or however that works. Porsche, let me have your car, dang it. Instead you gave me a frame. What am I gonna do with a frame? You know what I think about your car for giving me that frame? What? There's no spark when I run over it? Oh, whatever, fine. Well, that's what I think of your cars. In fact, there. Next time, give me the Porsche fob. Or heck, I'll even take the outfit as well. But they do have sexy cars, I'll give them that. What time is it? 9:30. Okay. Yeah, no, now would be a good time to wrap it up. Let me just head somewhere. There's a destination I would like to go. Excuse me. Am I able to do this? Hang on. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a bug they need to fix. What's thanks notes?
제가 말을 잘 못해서 감사한 마음을 글로 적었어요.
Oh.
받아주세요.
Head pat? Can we at least hold hands? There was something I had in mind.
내일도 좋은 날씨가 계속되길 바래요.
Yeah, it's bugged because the character you invite should not be wearing their sleepover casual. It should be their default outfit. But I'll take this. This is fine. This outfit works.
여러분 안녕하십니까? 엘리베이터 밖을 보시면 개방적이고 활력이 넘치는 초대형 도시 헤트로의 전경이 펼쳐지고 있습니다. 지금 계신 곳은 최고의 전망 명소 선샤인 타워입니다. 이곳에서 헤트로만의 특별한 추억을 만들어 가시길 바랍니다.
I've heard that what was it? Well, hello. I heard that the 007 First Light in its first weekend launch, they managed to sell over 3 million. 3 million copies, man. Those are the numbers that Ubisoft wish they could have. Hell, even Marathon, Bungie and Sony wish Marathon sold that many copies. But no, IO Interactive delivered on a game where they actually got James Bond right. And it's all thanks to Hitman. Oh, and apparently, that reminds me, yeah, Hitman, the classic Hitman trilogy, like the old Hitmans, apparently they're getting remastered again for current gen consoles. Oh, and speaking of Ubisoft, yes, I totally forgot to give them a shout out. Rayman Legends Retold. So it looks like Ubisoft finally got their heads out of their arses. Because yeah, they brought back Rayman. Sure, it's a remake of Legends, but I like Legends. I liked the Rayman Origin lineup. So I'd say I welcome it. And hey, watch. When that game comes out, and I think that's also a fall release, isn't it? When that game comes out, it's gonna sell really good. So much better than Assassin's Creed that Ubisoft will be wondering, but I thought people liked Assassin's Creed. Why does people love Rayman? I thought Or they're gonna gaslight people and say, "Oh, Rayman didn't sell well. You can forget about him." But hey, look, Assassin's Creed Witches, like they did with Prince of Persia, because that's the thing. Prince of Persia, Crown Prince, that game did well. It sold well enough. People loved it. Critics loved it, and yet Ubisoft thought it was bad, so they buried it. Well, somewhere I saw like a couple of videos, people pointing out that Ubisoft did not take any interest in the success of Prince of Persia. Despite how much praise it got, they didn't like it. They thought it failed. So that's why they gave us Assassin's Creed Shadows instead, and Star Wars Outlaws. 2 games that we didn't... Well, we did ask for Assassin's Creed Japan, but... Well, they made it into whatever it was, or that it is. And then, yeah, guess what happened? Well, actually, you don't need to guess, you already know. Ubisoft went bankrupt. They then had to give out 1/4 of their shares to Tencent, and then their shareholders and investors were like, asking, what the fudge, Ubisoft, you did this behind our back? And now Tencent is like, eyeballing them, making sure that, they make good games, otherwise they're going to be more in debt. Because, yeah, apparently some people are calling Tencent a debt shark. Shark depths? Yeah, whatever. And Tencent, they only care about money. But they do understand, in order to get money, you have to make good quality products. And that's what they're expecting Ubisoft to do. And if they can't do that, yeah, like I said, Ubisoft will be in more debt. And yeah, speaking of which, there's something that people need to know about the game that was also revealed during the Summer Game Fest. So, out of all the new IPs that you've seen from the Summer Game Fest, there was that game called Amsterdam 1666. Now, you've seen the game. It kind of looks like Assassin's Creed in some form or fashion. And there's a good reason. Because the creator that made that game, he used to work for Ubisoft. He worked on Assassin's Creed. And apparently I think I did a repost on this. So yeah, the creator of Amsterdam 1666, yeah, like I said, he used to work for Ubisoft. His time there was shit, though. People at the higher ups at Ubisoft were treating him like shit. And even when he left Ubisoft to move on to another company, Ubisoft ended up buying that company, and then they somehow still managed to continue to shit on him. And then when he was working on the game that you saw today or during the Summer Game Fest, unfortunately Ubisoft held the IP. They took his dream, his project. So for the past couple of decades, that guy had been fighting to get his IP back, and he won. And then yeah, finally he got to reveal his game. So if you have any more other reasons to hate Ubisoft, there you go. Well, now it's a fresh new reason to hate on them. Hate on the company. Sure, they're giving us Rayman. We'll give them that. But again, never forget what they did to you. What they did to your Assassin's Creed. What they did to your Prince of Persia and Rayman before he got his remake. And now, yeah, what they did to the poor man that they did to him from the beginning. First they shit on him, then they abused him or some sort. Then they took his IP, and they never even bothered to use it at all. So hey, he had to fight. The guy had to fight legally to get it back. Anyways, what else is new? People are loving Forza Horizon 6. I think it was the right call for the game to take place in Japan. Because yeah, let me tell you, man, a lot of VTubers, especially in Japan based, they're loving it. I wouldn't say it's like on the same level as Mario Kart success, but equivalent to that being on Xbox and PC. Yeah, it's actually as good as that. Xbox is back? Yeah, of course. From the games that they announced to the success of Forza Horizon 6. And it's not going to stop there. They're going to continue that success. As long as they make first-party games exclusive to Xbox. Because like I said, if you want to give people a reason to buy an Xbox, this would be it. Starting with Gears of War. And I wish Halo Campaign Evolved was not multi-platform. But if anything, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of people who plan to buy that game would most likely be Xbox users. I'll admit, I had my doubts with the new CEO. I did share my disbelief and my doubts. But you know what? I am glad that she managed to shatter all those doubts. And I don't mind being proven wrong. Because that's the thing. If people like her wants to shred all those doubts and those non-believers, Well, you do. Well, what would you do in that situation? You would, of course, prove them wrong. And you take actions, not just words. And that's what she did. She ditched AI. She focused on prioritizing only Xbox this, Xbox that. That's already the good first step. So yeah, I'm glad she managed to prove everybody wrong, including me. And I'm not ashamed of it. The only thing I'm ashamed of is doubting her. But that's what people like her, more people like her should you know, do what she has done. You want to prove that you're better than all those non-believers, those doubters and such? Do it. Show it. Don't say it, show it. So the same thing goes for you, Sony. You want to prove that you can somehow pull a miracle out of your arse? Well, you better start making good games and start listening to your fan base. By taking action. Not going on social media and cry about it. Like literally take action. And you know what? I never said this before, and I've been saying it to myself. If game developers would stop trying to ruin their reputation, here's my little advice. Tell all of your team, all of your game devs, your studios, your companies to stop going on social media. Because I've seen a lot of these devs and even former devs, they go on Twitter and Reddit and complain and fight back against the gamers, only to get shamed, literally. And they don't even talk back after that. So yeah. Game devs should not be going on social media to complain. Just like the Xbox CEO, if you want to prove someone wrong, you gotta take action, like you actually mean it. But then again, that also depends on said action. The action in question. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about Virtua Fighter Crossroads. So yeah, we finally got a good look at the Virtua Fighter 6, and the fighting game element is still there, but they are taking a very interesting approach in terms of the story mode. Like, I want to say there's like a bit of a Yakuza elements in there, but rather than fighting groups of enemies, it's like you're still fighting groups of enemies, but in a one-on-one fighting game traditional style. And it makes sense because it's coming from the studio the same studio that did the Yakuza series, the RGG Studios. Well, if that has anything to go by after seeing the gameplay footages, yeah, I'd say it's an interesting take, and I actually want to see more of it. Oh yeah, new generation of characters. Apparently the story mode is going to focus on 4 new characters. And then yeah, older characters will still be there, but in the same vein like how Capcom did with Street Fighter 6, those old characters will be treated as like legends. Yeah, we saw that with Pi, right? And it makes sense. It's been like years in both the game's timeline and for us. So it's kind of like we resonate with the world of Virtua Fighter, just like how we resonate with the world of Street Fighter 6. As we age, so do the characters in the game, in the franchise. Ryu got a beard now. Who knows what Akira looks like now? Maybe he's got a beard. But yeah, it's shaping up to be really great. And yeah, of course, that most likely will be a game that will be released next year, a 2027 release. If their progress goes smoothly, I wouldn't be surprised if they had to delay it a little bit more to like early 2028. But something tells me, my gut feeling tells me, yeah, they're attempting to aim for a 2027 release. Well, considering what they've shown us, yeah, it looks like it's not an alpha. It's like in between alpha beta. Like, yeah, it looks like it's a playable format, but it's playable only under the dev's hands. Like, you know, where the UI is non-existent. Like, if you've seen plenty of behind-the-scene footages of games, like, you know, it's kind of like they have a playable format, but just without the UI. Without the animations and effects. Heck, you should have seen what the alpha footage looked like of Halo 2. What alpha Halo 2 looked like. And then especially the E3 build. And oh boy, Sega. It was about damn time they started doing a follow-up sequel to Alien Isolation. I just hope, my only hope is that the second game is more scarier than the first. The first game holds a huge legacy, that's for sure. So they better live up to it. Woohoo Island is back. Oh yeah, that's right. Switch Sports Resort. Well, at least this time, Switch Sports Resort has all of the sports, including one new one. Thumb wrestling. Who asked for thumb wrestling? I don't know. But sure, you gotta get your money's worth for that Joy-Con 2 motion control upgrade. Why not? Oh no, we're kind of, yeah, high level. See, why is my character not closing her eyes? It's just blank stare. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, Woohoo Island, Switch Sports Resorts. Yeah. Remember how the first Switch Sports came out with like only six sports, and then the other ones would come out bit by bit through free updates. I've heard that people did not like that game. I mean, no, they enjoyed it at first, but then they got bored of it, and even when the new returning sports came back through free updates, big couple of months of gaps in between, people kind of like, they came back only for them to just stop the next day and then play something else. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good sign for when your game does that.
날씨가 너무 좋아요. 좀 돌아다닐까요?
People should be, if you want people to continuously be engaged in your game through free updates, it has to be consistent. But because Nintendo took too long releasing those updates in a couple like months between, yeah, of course people would be quickly would quickly get tired and bored of Switch Sports Resort. I mean, Switch Sports. So at least this time around, it's now all in one collection. Like, it's all together. You don't have to wait for some update to release some a sports event that should have been there to begin with. Yeah, remember golf in the Switch Sports did not have golf. You had to wait a couple of months for it to come out. But yeah, thank goodness they actually brought it back. Now included. You don't have to wait 9 months for it. Crazy, huh? They even brought back basketball. What else? Excuse me. No, I don't see anything else. Sorry, I'm just like scrolling through YouTube and Twitter and I've been following that whole what's it called, brick and minifigs scandal story. I didn't know who was the villain and who was the victim because I've been hearing like a lot of comments from both sides. I was confused, so I was just like sitting it out until I got the full story from somebody who would make sense of it. And then yeah, basically somebody made like a little skit that summarizes it, and I was like, oh, okay. So the villain was the owner of Brick and Minifigs. Gotcha. Crazy, really. How much people are willing to spend over discontinued products like Lego sets. But what for, man? Oh no, there's a Killer Bean video game, and it's bad. Well, I mean, of course it is. I don't know what the deal is with Killer Bean. I've seen the memes, but what's the deal? Is it some kind of piece of media that I should not know about? Anyways. Blah, blah, blah. anything else this week? Anything happening this week? No. But yeah, sometime 2 weeks from now, almost literally, Dead or Alive 6 Last Round will release on Thursday. I think Thursday? 25th? Yeah, 25th, Thursday. Most likely it'll have like some sort of like midnight release. Well, despite the lack of information, I'm still gonna get it anyways. Cause if they're gonna actually release new characters or returning, doesn't matter. I'm still for it. I wanna still show my support for Team Ninja. I mean, yeah, they are making Dead or Alive 7 at least, but I'm still gonna be the bootlicker that I am. So many people are just on the fence against buying the game, whether it's their first time or their second time. Mainly because they're demanding that the game has rollback netcode. Yeah, if it were only that easy. And I assure you, if I said that on some reply comment, somebody will say, "Oh, it is easy." Oh, really? Then you tell me how it's done. As somebody who doesn't know anything about game development and programming. Because I can tell you right now, I'd still be scratching my head and give you a confused look if you told me how rollback netcode is actually quote-unquote easy to implement into a 3D fighting game. Tekken has rollback, right? Yeah, I think it does. Well, rollback or not, that's not my problem. I'm not playing Dead or Alive 6 just because, I mean, how do I say this? Like, the lack of any rollback netcode isn't gonna stop me from buying Dead or Alive 6. Or Last Round. If there was at least maybe one reason for me not to get it, is if, well, I mean, not like they're gonna do it, but if they revealed all the new characters, new or returning, that don't seem like worth playing as, then yeah, maybe that. But the fact, of course, they're gonna keep it, you know, in development, behind the scenes, behind the curtains, leaving it as a mystery, then yeah. But then, yeah, wouldn't that mean that it would be not considered a purchase that I would regret afterwards? Like when the day comes when the characters are revealed. Yeah, maybe that'll happen. But at the very least, my money is put where, well, I can't say with confidence that where it belongs. Because it still would sound wrong. It would sound like me coping. Well. I mean, hey, Team Ninja's money got to be put somewhere, right? And it got put into Wulong too. Hey, who knows? Maybe Ninja Gaiden 5 is in the works. Who knows? I mean, you don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Only they know. What is that dome-like place? Let's see. No, I think that's it. That's all I have to say. That's all the yapping. I didn't miss out on anything else, right? No, it's fine. If I miss anything, maybe I'll talk about it more next stream. But yeah, that'll be it for today. But yeah, I'd say if I want to do like a quick ranking on all the presentations we had, let's see. I would put Xbox Showcase as number 1, Summer Game Fest 2nd, State of Play 3rd, and Nintendo Direct 4th. I didn't see the PC Game Showcase. I didn't bother with that. I just only focused on those 4. So yeah. Good job, Microsoft. You have won this one. This Christmas video game Christmas for 2026. As for Nintendo, well, you could have actually won the hearts of many if you announced a Smash Brothers Ultimate Switch 2 edition with new characters, but that's not my call, that's not your call, or I guess it would be their call, but most importantly, Sakurai's call, but oh well, better luck next year, I guess. But at least, I am still looking forward to Ocarina of Time Remake. Alright, so with all that being said, I will then see you guys in the next stream. You folks have a good day and a good night. See you, folks.